And then I'm going to hit go live. Hi, Dr. Mandy here. We have a special treat today. We have Julia Lyons here. Julia is a shamanic healer, an herbalist. Her and her partner make kombucha, amazing kombucha. And I have to say, I met Julia on Facebook, and I'm pretty fussy about herbs and things that I take. And so I started using her tinctures and formulas, and they've just been transformative. And I had Julia speak at my Women's Connection group last month, and her talk was just really motivating. It's rare that I show up at a talk and the next day I just feel like energized from all the information I got. So you guys are in for a real special treat today. And I'm going to let Julia do a proper introduction of her background and everything. And then she's going to talk about some self-care tips that who can't use a little more self-care during this time. So Julia.
Hi, everyone. So like Mandy said, my name is Julia Lyons. I offer earth-centered shamanic healing sessions out of Lafayette. I also teach a lot of classes about wild foods, herbalism, healing. I do Reiki trainings, earth-centered living, all that good stuff to help us root back into ourselves and connect to the earth around us. I make herbal medicines, lots of tinctures and things like that, as well as my partner and I have started a kombucha company, which is also herbal based, go figure. And in my opinion is one of the best kombuchas out there. I'm a little biased, but also I keep trying the new ones and it's not doing it for me.
I concur. It's good kombucha. I've tried them all.
Thank you. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about kind of, some things that have been really helpful for me, for, my friends, my community members during this time. And it hooks right up into what I know Dr. Mandy always talks about with me, which is the nervous system. For me, I feel like, and I'm just going to preface too by saying I am like one of the least scientific people out there. So this is just kind of my feeling about the nervous system. But for me, I feel like the nervous system is kind of like a netting around me. I feel like it is a very physical part of our bodies and our systems that is very hooked up and connected to what's going on energetically or emotionally or spiritually for us. So it kind of, in my opinion, and I'd like to hear if you agree, Dr. Mandy, it's kind of like a bridge between those two.
Mm-hmm.
And so by working with our nervous system, it helps to keep that bridge strong so that we can work and navigate really well in the physical as well as with our emotions, with spiritual things that come up for us, things like that. Okay, so where should I begin? Herbs and plants for me are allies throughout all of my life, no matter if we're going through a global crisis or, things are quote unquote normal, which what even does that mean? But ones for the nervous system, which are called nervines, are pretty much the main category of herbs that I work with personally, being someone that doesn't really have major issues. Like physical pain is not really a huge issue, so I don't need to use a lot of things that, help with that or other categories of herbs. For me, the nervines are just the support that I need. And within that huge category of herbs that support and nourish the nervous system, there's a lot of different ones. There's ones that calm and relax the nervous system. There's ones that nourish and strengthen. There's ones that kind of calm the nervous system but help to uplift the mood so they're not really sedative. So there's so many different plants that we can work with and that we can get to know. And for me, working with herbs and plants is a very personal thing because I am not a clinical herbalist, which means, again, not scientific. It's my approach is very intuitive. It's very relationship based. I grow the plants. I work with plants that grow wild around here. I get to know them. I develop a relationship with them. And then when I'm making these formulas, they're based on, either like my personal use, like my nervine support blend that I make is my top 3 herbs that I use. So I just put them all together. So it's either like based on my use or intuitive. I'm talking to the plants, to their spirits, saying, who wants to work together? Who wants to go into this jar to make this medicine? Sometimes I don't even know the specific purpose while I'm making it. And then later on it comes, oh, give this to people if they're complaining about headaches, or, if their legs are restless, or, whatever. I'm just making things up. But things like that. And that for me is a more effective way to receive the benefits of the plants. And of course, we're all different, so it's going to be different for everyone. But yeah.
No, I love that. I love that everything is individualized because, that's how treatment works in my office. It's not a one size fits all that everybody gets the same thing every time they come in. And it's the same way with herbs. And, I've had lots of anxiety and nervous system things in my life. And, I can go take the things that everybody says to take, go take some ashwagandha. Ashwagandha makes me not sleep at night. Like it doesn't work to calm my nervous system at all. It does the exact opposite. So we
Yeah.
need to be really individualized. And I love the intuitive approach because
Yeah.
it really is an intuition thing. Like you and I could have the same symptom, but need a totally different treatment to get rid of it. And
Exactly.
because we're not just treating the symptom, we're finding the cause.
Exactly. And it also goes too with like, just because we're the same body size doesn't mean the dosing will be the same. One of the herbs that helps me to calm my nervous system that I, you know, give to so many people is called skullcap. And that one is one that I have found a huge variety with dosing for different people. So I'm like about 115 pounds, 5'3", like pretty small person. And for me, my dose for skullcap is, sometimes when I tell people what it is, they're like shocked because they know about herbal things. But my dose, if my mind is going at night, which luckily isn't that often, or, it's time to go to bed and it's just not happening, I'll take 3 or 4 full droppers of skullcap tincture. Whereas I have a really good friend who's like an amazing herbalist, mama. She's definitely a little physically bigger than me, and her dose is 3 to 5 drops, like. And so, and I've heard different things from people of like, oh my gosh, even if I take a whole dropper, I'll be super drowsy the next day, blah blah blah. And it's that self testing. Like I started out smaller, and on certain nights I'd try 2 dropperfuls, wasn't working, I'd go back for one more, go back for another. So I figured out my dose. And that again too is an intuitive thing. I think a huge thing that always, but especially while most people have a little more time to slow down right now, is to really get in touch with our bodies, which is probably one of the most difficult things. Our society does not encourage that. We push things aside, whatever it is. But just to take time over, and it takes a long time to develop that relationship, but when you get to know your body, you can pick up on really subtle things much earlier. And that way you can know if something is off, if you need to be getting more sleep, if you need to nourish yourself more, whether that's with food or herbs or a spa day or whatever. But that's a game changer. And that's huge in earth centered traditions, being connected to your body, being connected to the earth. And when you kind of build up that, um, what am I thinking? Like confidence that you actually do know your own body, you can take a lot of your healing into your own hands. And to me, that's amazing.
So what are some tips you would give to someone who's like maybe watching this and it's like, oh my gosh, I feel so out of touch with my body and I don't even know where to begin? What are some things
Yeah.
they do to just start tuning into that and helping calm during this time?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So for me, there's one practice that I love that a really good friend of mine facilitates, and it's a type of yoga, but it's unlike any yoga that people have ever practiced. It's called Feel, Focus, Flow. And it's a somatic meditation and movement that encourages you to have your own experience, to listen to your body, to, do whatever it is that you're being called to do and whatever it is that you need. And she guides it in such a beautiful way. And she's out in California now, but she has a website and does it all online. They're offering a free month right now too to help support people during this time. But doing that practice, I mean, it's like one of those things where you're doing it, and some people, she used to live in Colorado and we'd do it in person, some people would be lying on the floor, some people would be standing up, some people would be doing active movements, some people would be doing restorative. And the way that she can just feel into the room or the space if it's online, and encourage people to, you know, are you laying down because you're resisting an urge to move? Or are you laying down because that's what you need? And she just knows how to feel into it and to, plant these little seeds and guide you through it. Um, so for me, that practice was like revolutionary. And then bringing that into my own personal daily practice, whether it's yoga or dance or movement, to be able to create time and space to go in and listen to your body. Um, Another thing is just to not talk down to your body, or if you have something weird, oh, I have this weird kind of sharp pain here, I wonder what that is, to just within yourself try to not blow it off. You don't need to freak out about it, but to just get curious. And everyone's intuitive, so you don't need to go to, whoever to tell you, oh, you're having this pain in your heart, it actually is more emotional than it is physical, and it's tied to this. Like, you don't need to go to someone else necessarily to dig. You can just notice and then sit with that, what in whatever way that means, just noticing it throughout the day. When does it get more painful? When is it relief? When is there relief? Different things like that. And just trying not to judge yourself and empowering yourself to know that you have all of the healing capability that you need within your own hands, if you give yourself that credit, right?
Yeah, I love that. I think, I love that you said we're all intuitive and, some people think they don't have it, but I think we know. Like, we know when we're running from something. We know when, I'm not having this glass of wine because I feel like I just need to chill. I'm having this glass of wine because I don't want to sit with my feelings and feel my feelings. And so, now would be a good time to we have the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time on our hands. So that's really great.
Yeah.
So I will definitely drop links in the comments so people know how
Yeah.
to get in touch with you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the kombucha you guys make? And,
Yeah.
'cause I'll drop a link in for that as well.
Yeah, totally. So we are called Kundali Kombucha, and we make herbal blends of kombucha. Right now, we have one flavor out in cans. So we offer 6 packs and cases of that. And we'll put the coupon code so people can get the first time offer too down below. But It's really brewed. My partner's been brewing kombucha for probably 7 or 8 years. And, our lives are very spiritual and a lot about bringing balance and harmony and, nourishing ourselves from the inside out so that we can live the lives that we want to lead. And putting that energy and that intention into our kombucha, I think really translates into the final product. The flavor is super balanced. It's very approachable for people who maybe don't like other kombuchas if they're too vinegary or too soda-y or there's tons of weird kombucha out there. But it's super approachable. We do a full fermentation of at least 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for each batch. So it's full of probiotics. And, gut health is super important for our other health too. A lot of us know that, but it helps to strengthen our immune system. It helps us just with so much mental health, physical, everything. So we have that, and all different people like it. People who drink kombucha, people who think they don't like kombucha, kids love it. And we intuitively, make the herb blends for different purposes. And yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's great kombucha, and like I said, I'll drop a link in the comments. And you mentioned that for gut health, and I just want to say at this time when all of us are really focused on optimizing our immune systems so we can deal with this virus that's out there that none of us have. Well, now some of us have had exposure to, but before that, none of us had exposure to. 80% of your immune cells are in your gut, so it's really important that we get our guts up. So cut the sugar and do things like that. And if people want to contact you for herbal tinctures, or are you doing any distance Reiki or anything like that right now?
I'm doing a little. I've been laying low and just really going inward in this time. But in May, so starting in May is when, if things continue to go in the direction they're going, then I'm going to start scheduling clients in May, which would be, Reiki, earth-centered shamanic healing, and Maya abdominal womb massage. You don't have to have womb massage. That's just one of the offerings. So that's going to be starting May. And then I always offer distance sessions. I have tons of tinctures and herbs, and I'm happy, also to just talk with each person one-on-one to see what might be a good fit for them.
Okay, great. Well, I'll drop all those links in the comments. So if anybody has any questions, they can reach out. And I want to thank you for coming on today, Julia. This was super
Thank
awesome.
you. That was fun.
Yeah. And